cannot get my hair to cooperate, but in the spirit of Stranger Things and 80s messy, voluminous hair coming back, we're just gonna have to deal with this. The mail is here. We have to wait them out. This candle is Lavender and Pine by Bath and Body Works, and oh my god, it smells so good. So I'm gonna put her here. Is she safe there? Let's see. Maybe I should move something else. I'm gonna put her over here. I also have my cauldron going. Around it has rose, lavender, hibiscus. I was trying to remember, I did it a while ago. And I think salt. And then inside of the cauldron I have lemon, orange, like a little bit of cranberries, rosemary, and cinnamon powder. And then I recently made this mixture of perfume oil, an enchanted perfume oil, and I had cinnamon in here mixed with all the herbs, so I added that cinnamon stick to the cauldron. Welcome to my altar. This is in a different spot in my room, but for the video I moved it over. I took a lot of things that are on my altar off, so I had room to talk. So right now it looks kind of different than what it usually looks like. Also, if you are a witch, I highly suggest investing in these candles. Oh my god, they look so real too. I literally like confused myself, but they're like the best thing ever. Okay, let me do a little walkthrough of what's on my table right now. This is only a few things just to look cute for the video, but these are my offerings for Aphrodite. So I made orange slices with chocolate, dipped chocolate, and I froze them and I put salt and roses on them, and they haven't decomposed or anything. Like they haven't is decomposed the right word? They haven't molded or anything. Like it's really intact. So the magic is alive and well. Before I get into the video today, I'm going to do a quick pull a card for regular tarot. This is just the golden tarot deck. This is my first tarot, actually. And then I'm going to be pulling an oracle card. Ooh, that's loud. From this Celtic Tree Oracle deck that, oh my god, it is my favorite deck ever. Okay. So I'm gonna first begin by shuffling. Like the guy in Bjork live performance, how they just like always don't use like regular instruments, how he like shuffles cards the whole song. Genius. So I'm just gonna be pulling an overall message for the collective who's here today. It's like really difficult to shuffle on this on this table. I'm always shuffling on my bed. This feels so weird. I like need more arm space. The overall message for the collective who's listening in today. Anytime that happens, I'm like, did you want to come out though? Okay, Page of Wands. So this is what it looks like. Let's see what this Golden Tarot has to say. There's not that much of a definition in this one for some reason, which I hate. So that's why I got like a universal tarot deck book, and that's helped. But I'm still learning tarot. I've been doing tarot for so long, and I'm still learning. I still feel like a beginner. Let's see, Page of Wands. A finely dressed young man holds a wand. A finely dressed young man holds a wand from which a gilded message flies. In the other hand, he politely holds his hat. That just went out. Do you see the smoke? 3 rabbits frolic at his feet. In the background, a large bonfire burns. Another traveler can be seen walking on the road in the distance. An energetic and hardworking youth. A messenger will bring inspiring news. A new project begins. Yeah, I think pages are all about like the first step. Like I think like you're not that you're the lowest. I don't want to say that you're the lowest, but I feel like you're at the beginning of something. And that could be you watching this video, because this is for baby witches. So yeah, maybe you're at the beginning of your journey. Maybe you just want to refresh, but you're at the beginning of something. You're starting, and you're not quite yet an expert on it. You're still learning. You're in an apprenticeship. Yeah, I feel like that is the vibe for the Page of Wands. Okay. Now let's pull from the Celtic Tree Oracle. Now this one, I need to get into more of this person's stuff. I don't know if they make more oracle cards, but I would definitely buy them, because this book, the messages in this book are so beautifully written. I've never felt more connected to an oracle deck or a tarot deck than this. And again, this is the Celtic Tree Oracle by Charlene Hidalgo. Are a little hard to shuffle, but that don't matter. This deck is like amazing. Even though it's like really big and large, I don't mind because it's such a beautiful. I love the deck. Okay. Oops. Please give me a message for the collective who is listening in today. I saw that one TikTok and they were like, when the cards don't fall off the bone. Like, they're not like cards that you shuffle easily. Ooh, okay, more, the sea. Can you see that? Is that focused? More, the sea. Number 25. 25 could be significant. 25 is significant for me. Okay. Let's see, 25. Okay, more the sea. Totems are water nymphs, the fairy deities, moon goddesses, great mother goddesses, female ancestors. Keywords: journey of pilgrimage, maternal ancestors and original homelands, ocean, water, mother and female lineages, the mysteries, emotion, and healing. More of the sea represents our maternal links, our yearnings to travel, and the element of water. With more, we honor all the waters on the planet, including that in our own blood and bodies. And the unconscious and inner child. The sea represents hidden knowledge and our ancestral lineages. The sea encourages us to take spiritual pilgrimages, to learn about our roots and experience gratitude for them. More also encourages the inner journey into the depth of our own souls. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Please bear with me. The ogham for the sea is more, and the letters are AE, XI, and X. Its symbol is the warp and weft of a shirt. More the sea in a reading. Do you feel called to take a pilgrimage? Perhaps it is time to take a trip or journey, one that connects you to your ancestral homeland or your spiritual home. Are you intrigued by sharpening your language skills in preparation for such a trip? Do you feel drawn to a spiritual pilgrimage to ancient power places and sacred lands? Or you may be called to make an inner journey to reconnect with your deepest, most authentic self. Is it time to plan such a journey? You may be called to help protect the waters of the planet. This card indicates it is time to offer your gratitude for the rivers, streams, lakes, ponds, waterways, and oceans. It is time to contemplate the water cycle that renews the earth with rain and moisture. It is time to offer your gratitude for your own emotions and your tears. What ways can you protect the waters where you are? More of the sea might also indicate a time to delve into learning more about the mysteries and the power of the unconscious. You might want to learn shamanism, or a form of spirituality that is connected to your own original ancestry, or one that fits with your deepest heart's desires. I'm like out of breath. I'm so sorry. I'm like going too fast. More is an invitation into the healing provided via the unconscious and the higher self. She invites you to dive deep and learn about healing practices to heal the emotional body. Whichever message more the sea has for you, be sure to take time to connect with your ancestors and ask them for guidance and help as you travel your chosen path. Especially consider your maternal links. This is a time to honor the powers of the feminine and to honor the miracle of the female body and the miracle of birth. Women and men are asked to connect with respect and veneration for the divine feminine. Yeah, so I would say maybe you feel really called to water. Maybe you feel called to Aphrodite. I'm an Aphrodite devotee and Hecate devotee, but I decided to do the whole altar today for Aphrodite, and it's very water based. So maybe you're interested in working with Aphrodite. Maybe you're interested in, maybe you feel called to her, you feel like she's calling or wants to work with you, or you feel like you're getting messages, and that's what brought you to this video. That's what brought you to spirituality and witchcraft or whatever. I have a little mermaid, if you can't see. It's so loud. Okay. But I really think that was also like getting in touch with the divine feminine, getting in touch with your inner world and what is calling you and your intuitive side. And that all comes from, or at least I'm thinking about like the tarot cards and the Queen of Cups. Maybe the Queen of Cups is significant to you. I've been pulling the Queen of Cups a lot, but it's going back to believing in yourself, handling your emotions, being intuitive. So maybe all of that is calling out for you. Maybe you feel like you need to get back in touch with that, or maybe you're just looking for answers. And the best place to look for answers is within you, learning self-trust. I think I'm number one who, with tarot, with divination, with spirituality and witchcraft, I'm always like, with all of this, I'm always like, I just need an answer. I just need a yes, but I can't just say yes for myself. It's really hard for me to just be like, yeah, let's do this. Like, I can't make a decision without consulting my spiritual shooters, without consulting my tarot deck. I think that's a problem. No, but like, I just think like what it is saying is to look within, to trust yourself. Why do you feel called to witchcraft, or why do you feel called to this spirituality journey? Finally, what you've all been waiting for: witchcraft for beginners, calling all baby witches. Okay, I'm gonna start off with a sound cleanse, with the bell cleanse, because I'm getting more into this. I also picked this up, and isn't it so cute? And I love it, and I felt the energy change like immediately when I put it in my room. But here we go, bell cleanse. So you may be a baby witch. So you maybe want to dive into witchcraft, but you don't know where to start. It can be very overwhelming. It can feel like you don't know what to do first. You don't know how to start because there's so many rules or whatever. As long as you're being respectful, doing a little bit of research. I mean, you don't have to, I don't want to say go crazy, because I don't want you to think like there are any rules to it. There are rules to it, but the rules are literally just like, do not try to practice closed practices, or do not culture appropriate. I think that's like a common sense rule. But other than that, like when you do spells and things, or you do any type of witchcraft, like just have fun with it. You don't have to have all these things. You don't have to buy all this stuff. I remember Carissa said that in her video when I was first getting into it, because she really introduced me to that. And she said, like, you don't have to break the bank. And I've always remembered that, but I kind of did. Kind of like just was like, well, because I don't know, once you like invest in witchcraft and spirituality, it really like becomes it's become my whole personality. So I feel like it's just like, I don't know, it's like my aesthetic. Like it's just my thing. So it makes sense to buy stuff for it. Actually, I'm gonna replace this. Okay, so yeah, I just want to say, like, don't feel overwhelmed, but do proper research. Don't just like do random spells or random things. Look up if that's okay to do. Like, look up if like, I never do anything outside of the like norm or anything that just feels wrong. Obviously you're gonna feel it, obviously you're gonna be like, what? But I think the main things I just don't like. I don't know. I think it's different for everyone, and I think you have to find how you come into it and how you practice the craft. And I think it's not the same for everyone. Okay. So the first thing that I would recommend investing in is a book of shadows. Now, if you're not familiar with what a book of shadows is, it is just a notebook, like so. I mean, this isn't mine, but mine's in here. But it's just like a journal, just a book, any old book, and it's just designated to documenting your spells, anything that you do. It's sort of just like your spiritual receipts. So yeah, I would recommend that. And I would recommend buying another journal, or I mean, if you're into journaling, you probably already have a journal, whatever. But I strongly believe in, but this is also because I love journaling. I've always journaled. But when you are entering witchcraft, when you are starting your witchcraft journey, starting your spiritual journey, you're learning so many things about yourself. And I think through that healing process, it's best to write everything down. So that's why I say invest in a separate journal where you can do your shadow work and where you can just write everything down, write your feelings, and just expressing yourself or transmuting the energy. So if I'm speaking in tongues or speaking crazy, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it legible, understandable. So yes, first thing to invest in, a book of shadows, and also a journal. So the way I guess organize or categorize whatever my book of shadows, I don't know if that's the right term, is I make sure to put the date, and I just write down every ingredient that I put in the spell, what the spell is going to be doing, blah blah blah, what protective runes. I might be sounding crazy and saying all this stuff that doesn't make sense to you, but we will get into it later in the video. And yeah, just all that jazz. Divination is extremely important, and divination would be things like tarot or using a pendulum, even tea reading. I have a book on tea reading. I want to get into that. Anything where you are asking spirit or your guides or whoever you are speaking to, like for guidance on the situation or the spell or whatever you're doing. You're just asking for confirmation. Yeah, so I would really recommend getting into tarot or some sort of divination. You can even ask or pray for signs in your day-to-day life, over a situation that is bothering you, or you can ask to be sent dreams about it. But all of these things are incredibly important, and I think divination is incredibly important step within witchcraft. Herbalism. I love when people pronounce the H. Herbalism. Herbs. I love that. Like, every time I hear that, I'm like, okay. Herbalism. yeah, for when I do spells, I like to mix herbs that contain the properties that I'm trying to call in or push away or whatever. But some herbs that I started with that, you know, are not too crazy, or like, I just feel like are sort of like easy, I guess easy herbs to start with or easy to find. I started with rose, so I bought roses, like dried, these are all dried roses, dried lavender, dried jasmine. I bought catnip, or mine's silvernip actually, cinnamon, bay leaves. Now I have hibiscus and lemongrass. I just added them to my collection, but I definitely want to get into collecting a lot of herbs. I think I like herbalism is like calling me, and I love tea. I'm such a tea person, and I really want to have like a giant collection of loose leaf tea. But yeah, so I would recommend purchasing herbs and yeah, researching their properties, looking them up, and then mixing them in your spells or rituals, whatever. And anytime this is also something that you can write in your Book of Shadows as well. I mean, you can use your Book of Shadows for whatever you want, but in the very beginning of my Book of Shadows, I have a lot of like notes and information, like what herbs symbolize what properties, or what like a lot of things that I get into later, like color theory or runes, what each rune means or whatever. So I think a Book of Shadows is good for that too, to record and keep a note. Literally just like write notes of your stuff. I would also recommend buying salt and black salt. So I use salt in all of my rituals because it's a purifier, it's very cleansing and just a protective property. So I usually use white salt always, and then black salt as well. Now black salt is just salt with incense mixed into it. You can buy it, but I actually bought it, like all of these herbs and the salts I've bought and I still have. Like I bought at the beginning of this year and I still have them, and I use them a lot, but they go a long way. Yeah, so I actually make my own black salt. I just have it in a little jar. I just fill it with salt and I put all my incense in there, and then I just shake it up. And I use that for black salt is the opposite. So black salt is also protective, and it can be used in banishings. So if you want to like clear the space, if you're like purifying a space or protecting a space before you do a spell, you can add black salt to kind of banish any of the energy. Yeah, it's good for like clearing blockages and like opening pathways and stuff. Or I guess that's a good segue into cleansing. Cleansing spaces, cleansing energy when the energy feels weird, cleansing before you do any sort of spell. I use incense, so you can buy incense that I guess smells good to you. There are a lot of options. I just would be careful about what's in them, because I recently bought incense because I really wanted to buy dragon's blood, and I asked them if they had dragon's blood incense, and they said that this incense had dragon's blood in it. And I was like, okay. And he was like, you could read all the ingredients or whatever. And I don't know, I was like anxious, and it was like it was just like really tight in there. And I didn't see the list of ingredients, and it was actually inside of the box. And I'm like, when people are around me, especially the owner people, I'm not gonna like open the box in front. I don't know, I felt like I just always feel like I can't do that, and I'm never gonna be that person. So I didn't open it, and I was like, okay, I was looking for the like ingredients or what it's made of on the outside, and I didn't see it, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll just buy it. So I bought it, and I didn't realize till I was home when I opened it, and the listed on the ingredients, it's Palo Santo and sage. And I'm like, I'm not using that. I'm not, what does that mean? I'm not buying that. What is it? I'm not watching this. I was like, I'm not using this. And now I just have it in my, like, this is such a side note, but now I just have it in my thing, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with it? Like, I really don't know what to do. If you have any tips or what is like a respectful way to deal with it, like, please let me know, because I just like don't want to use it. So now it's just like sitting in my thing, haunting me. And I asked my tarot, I was like, is it like disrespectful if I still use it? I mean, I bought it by accident. I don't know what to do. And the devil card flung out. And I was like, all right, I knew that, but it's great for the extra confirmation. So now it's just sitting in my thing, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do with it. But anyway, make sure you know what is in your incense. I use the shooting star incense. I love that incense. It smells so good. But there's also like lavender. There's a lot of different options for incense, but I use that to cleanse. If you're in an area or in living around other people, or like in a close proximity where it's just like disrespectful and it'll stink up the house, you can use bells to cleanse. I'm just getting into bell cleansing. Like, I didn't even really know that existed, and now I'm like obsessed with it. I want to put like a little bell on my keychain, so everywhere I walk I'm like cleansing the air and I'm protected and everything. And then also black and white candles. So I do that a lot when I'm doing a spell. I'll mix herbs and everything, but when I am doing the spell, I make sure to light a black and white candle just for balance and yin and yang and protection. Both of them are protection. And I found that's very just, I guess, like the right thing to do in your spells, and just like, can't think of the word, just essential. Fire magic. You want to get into candles or whatever. You can also, if you're unable to light candles, or like fire scares you, fire is very scary, I'll tell you that. I know every witch is like, ooh, they've had like a little moment with fire, because it's just like, we'll leave them on forever, or the herbs will be burning and just like lighting up the place, or literally like, just be very careful with whatever you're doing with fire, because oh my god, that shit will light up. And I'll let you know that my fire alarm has rung. I've tested my fire alarm multiple times, many a time, because of how bad it's been. But fire magic and candles and color theory, I like using different colored candles for different things that I'm trying to channel or whatever. Let me see what I have right now. So these candles, I did not get at Hobby Lobby. But yeah, I always have black and white candles on me, again, because I just like to light them with my spells just for like extra protection. White is like very pure, I guess. White represents purity. And just like protection and cleansing. And then the same thing goes for the black candle. The black is very protective. I found that a lot of people wear also different colors to channel different things, and I feel like I have always been drawn to black clothing, and I feel very safe and protected in black clothing. So that's another thing. I think color theory is like really interesting, and I think it's just obviously like it's psychological, but it's really cool. But yeah, so black and white candle. I bought yellow because I feel like yellow is like happiness and like a bright energy. And I also think it's like creativity and like passion. So I wanted to bring that in. Yeah, I feel like if it's like anything, it's like the sun card on the tarot deck. Blue is for emotional healing. It's also for calm, for rest. Trying to think what else. But yeah, I think blue like the sea. Just calming the storm. So I bought that for emotional healing. And then green. Green can be abundance. It can be money. It can be greed. It can be the Wizard of Oz. It could be, yeah, anything. But what was I gonna say about green? Pink goes good with green. Okay, so with fire magic, I usually mix herbs, like have an herbal mixture, and then I put them on the candle. I have a lot of videos where I do that. So if you want to check them out, you can. But yeah, so I just put oil on the candle, any type of oil, and then I put as much as I can of the mixture of herbs. And then I light the candle, but just be very careful with the herbs because they catch on fire and it's a whole thing. So just do not leave it unattended and just watch it. But yeah, a lot of the time I carve sigils or runes into the candle of whatever I want to call in. I'm really like to do the runes as well. I feel like I do the runes like almost every time. And you can write it with a marker, you can write it with a pencil, you can carve it with your knife, be careful. But yeah, you can do whatever. You can also, when you have the mixture of the herbs, you can trace the runes in there as well. It's all intentional. It's all, you are the maker of it. Like you're not doing anything wrong. Spiritual hygiene. I learned this term. I love this term. I am big on spiritual hygiene. So what is spiritual hygiene, you ask? Spiritual hygiene is when things feel when the energy is crazy, when it feels stuffy, when it just like everything is going wrong, you're tripping, it's just whack, right? Wait, I'm sorry. My gnome is over there. I like really love that I put him near my altar now. I'm sorry, I have to just like, he's there, he's protective. Are gnomes like protected? Everything, I love the symbol for everything, but gnomes like protect the garden. So I have a gnome over there, but I really want gargoyles as well, like little gargoyles. I think that'd be so cute. Sorry. I just saw that and I was like, hey, I need to name him. Guys, let's vote on a name, please. Okay, spiritual hygiene. So when the energy in your space or just like things are just going wrong this week, things are just going wrong in your day and you need a cleanse. What I would recommend is meditation. I love meditating. Put the phone down. Yeah, but like just finding time in your day to meditate, or even before bed or right when you wake up. I used to do that a lot. And just listening to frequency music as well. I really recommend is buying the crystal selenite. I keep touching these crystals over here. Buying like a selenite stick. I have one on the top of my door, if you can see. And I also have a star selenite, but I like to put it right on my chest, and I breathe in and out, and I just meditate with that. And I like to move it too. I move it on my chest, then I'll move it to my lower, like right here, then I'll move it to my stomach, and then sometimes I'll lay it on my forehead as well. I'll just like, as I'm meditating, I move the location of the selenite, and I feel like it's really beneficial. Also, in my other video, if you haven't checked out my starting your spiritual journey video, I have a lot of tips in there as well. So check that out if you haven't. But I speak about water and cleansing, like the benefits of water and cleansing with water. So whether that is making sure you drink your water or making sure you're showering, I really love doing shower cleanses. So I have like a separate shower cleanse playlist, and I like to think that like at the end of every day I am washing off all of the energy of the day, or anything that's like caught a little bit in my web, or any negative thing or energy. Like I'm just washing it off and I'm getting it away. So I think shower cleansing is really a great way of like keeping up your spiritual hygiene. Also, self-care, taking time to rest, eating, treating yourself. Again, I've said this many a time, but I do live by the Dale Cooper mantra of treating yourself every single day. Every day I live by that. I'm like, what am I gonna give myself today? Because honestly, like, you have to think about it like, you have to think about yourself as if you were a friend, or as if you were in a relationship with someone. Would you treat the person that you're in a relationship with, or would you treat a friend the way you're treating you? Like if you're having a hard time or you're feeling down or whatever, wouldn't you want to, or I'm saying if your friend is having a hard time, or if you're in a relationship and they're having a hard time, wouldn't you want to cheer them up somehow? So why don't you do the same for yourself? So I try to do that. Like I'll try to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this to get my spirits up, or because this is what I would want done. You know what I mean? Like you have to build that relationship with yourself. And that's so important. That's why you gotta live by Dale Cooper's words always. Everybody on Witch Talk is always talking about protection spells. They're like, protection. The first spell you want to learn is a protection spell. That's so important. There are many ways to go about this, but I think the best way is to really believe in your own power and believe in your own magic, because I think for a long time, your mindset changes everything, or your mindset is like, what's the right way to say this? Like, you are your mindset. So if you believe that, this is not gonna work, or I don't know if I did it right, you're putting that energy in it. And I don't want to scare like the OCD people, because I literally feel like I am that as well. I get too much in my head. But you just have to be like, it's working. Also, speaking good about yourself, like speaking it, like everything that comes out of that mouth is a spell. So just make sure you are not talking bad about yourself because you're believing that, if you're saying that, I am one of those people that is like, don't say that. Take that back. But yeah, so protection spells. So what I do is, like I said, I will light a white and black candle. You can also meditate and imagine a white light around you, just protecting you. Or you can create wards. There are a lot of different ways to create wards. I would always create a water ward, but now I started creating other wards. But yeah, you can create like a ward, like a trap. You can create a trap. That's literally what it is, though. It's literally like a trap. You can create a word that traps all the negative energy. And yeah, I need to do that, actually. Like, I really need to do that. I don't have that yet, but I have like a lot of like cuter words. But I would recommend a water word, and if you want to know how to do that, you can watch I think I do it in my altar setup video. It's like my altar reset video. I show you how I did my water word. It's very simple. Again, it doesn't take much. Like, all it takes is your intention. You don't even need to do certain things. You can just put it out there, you know what I mean? There's not too many rules. Something also that I would do is making a spell jar. So these aren't protective spell jars, these are other things, but you can get a little tiny jar. I made two. I made one for my car and one I have in my bag with my lip stuff, because that goes everywhere with me, so it's everywhere I'm walking. But I was having a lot of trouble with my car. It was just in the shop every month, so I was like, something has to be done. And I was like, I'm putting a spell jar in there, and that car has been like chill since. But oh my god, I forgot I have these little, look how cute these are. Really? I'm telling you, invest in fake fire. I'm about to get into fake fire because I literally am such a scaredy cat now. I just burned myself. Okay. How to make a protective jar. You can get any type of jar. I put, what did I put in it? Actually, spiritual receipts. Okay, so I put rose in it. I put lavender. I put pepper, chili flakes, a bay leaf, rosemary, sea salt, and a key. So I put the key on the top and I sealed it with wax, as I did these ones. Because I wanted it to act as again, like a road opener, or just like unlocking new doorways. Yeah, so I would really recommend, if I could go back, I would have made a protection jar sooner, because I think it does a lot to see it every day and also to like have it on you. So yeah, you could do that. You could put it in your car, because you use your car. If you have a car, you can use it because you use that every day. And then keep it in your makeup bag or your purse or your wallet. Oh, oils as well. I just made this one. This is the leftover herbs. I'm going to use this in some spells. But I made a protective perfume oil. It's over there in a little jar. But yeah, I actually made a perfume oil where you let it sit for a month, and I was so proud of myself. And I wore it yesterday. I'm wearing it today too, but I wore it yesterday and I could feel my magic for like the first time, and I was just like, I mean, I was walking around like, but yeah, you can even make perfume oils. I have another video like that. The PR is going crazy. Okay. Altar setup. I also have an altar reset video that you could watch, but what I would recommend about your altar is keeping it clean. When mine is not clean, like, I actually thought it was pretty clean until I took all the stuff off for this video. I was like, oh, it's a mess, thank God, because I have to clean it. When it's a mess or it's due for I just want to let you know it smells really good. When it's a mess, I can just feel it. Like, I'm like I'm like twitching in the corner. I'm like, I gotta clean that shit. So yeah, making sure to clean it, just making sure it's, to be honest, I would like when I have more space, it's gonna be better, but right now it's a very small desk, so everything's very cramped. But I would like it to be more airy and more full of space. With your altar, again, like I spoke in the beginning of the video, if you want to work with Aphrodite or you want to work with deities or whoever, you can kind of devote your altar to things for them, things that they like. That's why I have a lot of mermaid imagery, or just siren things, or roses, or just like any type of like pretty, but also like crystal things that are, I have shells, I have a lot of sea imagery, so anything for them that's just, it's their place. I also have like stuff for Hecate as well, and you can look up what offerings or what things they like on their table. You can also ask them what they would like and they'll send you messages. Sorry, I'm just looking at my other stuff. You can also do ancestor work, and you know, set it up like the Day of the Dead all year round and have stuff with your ancestors or people that have passed, and have offerings for them. I love when people, there's that TikTok of the get your coffee, what is it, it's like, I'm making coffee, and they put a little espresso or coffee for the ancestors on. I love that. I recently realized that an ancestor is gonna love a cigarette. Who's not gonna love a cigarette? So I was like, and my pop was a smoker, so I was like, why did it take me this long to put a cigarette on my table? Anyway, just think about what they would like and what they would want and just put that there. Yeah, I have like temporary and permanent offerings. So these are like permanent offerings that just are always on the table, but I'm getting more into temporary offerings, and offerings are just like to show your gratitude and give back to them for guiding you and protecting you. But like I said, I'm getting into temporary ones, so I made these oranges. What else did I do? When I have tea at the end of the night, I have these 2 little shot glasses. I should have like a teacup, because what's a little shot glass? That's all I'm giving them. I feel like that's so like if I saw that, I would be like, wow, you can give me a proper tea glass. Like, but make a little bit of tea for them. I add a little tea for them. Water is an easy offering, and especially with Aphrodite as well. Love that. But yeah, it's not like rocket science. I thought it was all the time, but it's really like you can kind of do whatever you want. But I hope that was helpful. I hope all this information wasn't overwhelming. I was just trying to give you a wide range of stuff to get into. It doesn't mean you have to do everything that I listed, but I kind of wanted to condense it so it made sense and you didn't have to do all this research, so it was just in there. But if you are starting your spiritual or witchcraft journey, please comment about it in the comment section. I would love to hear about it. I love talking about this stuff. It makes me so happy and I feel really connected when I talk about it. if you've been doing it for a while and you're not a baby witch but you just watched this video, I do that all the time because I still feel like I'm always at the beginning of everything. Comment that too. I would love to talk to you guys. Also, subscribe, stay a while, come and stay. Oh, but we need a yes if you want to stay here. Subscribe. I like seeing that number go up because I'm like, I'm not talking to the void, you know what I mean? I'm not like just nobody's listening. But yeah, subscribe, stay a while. I make a lot of witchy content. I have a few videos. I have a lot of videos actually that are going to be coming out soon. But yeah, start a convo in the comment section. I will not leave you on red. I love laughing. I'm a Sag moon. Anyway, have a great rest of your night. And I hope this helped you. Bye. Good night.